How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark Elevation from tonight, which is August 16th, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker versus Gannon Jones and Duke Davis. That was a great match, but the ending to it, 2.0, went over because Jeff Parker pinned Gannon Jones with the 2 for show from Matt Lee and Jeff Parker. That was match 1, by the way. Match 2, it was Diamante versus Julia Hart. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Diamante went over with a punch in the face with a chain. But after the match, Diamante attacked Julia Hart and was beating the shit out of her, and Big Swole came out and attacked Diamante and was beating the shit out of her, and all the referees had to come out and break it up and everything, which that was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, it was Joey Janela versus 5. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Joey Janela went over with a roll-up. Match 4, it was Hikaru Shida versus Kiera Hogan. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Hikaru Shida went over with the Falcon Arrow. Match 5, it was Lance Archer versus Reggie Collins. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Lance Archer went over with the blackout. Well, before the match, as Lance Archer and Jake the Snake Roberts came out, Lance Archer had Reggie Collins, brought him out to the ring, and was throwing him around and beat the shit out of him and everything, which that was cool. Match 6, it was Thunder Rosa versus Ray Lynn. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa went over with the Thunder Driver. Match 7, it was Pac versus Anthony Bowens. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Pac went over with the Brutalizer. That was match 7, by the way. Match 8, it was Brian Cage versus Joey Keys. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Brian Cage went over with the Drill Claw. Match 9, it was Sammy Guevara versus Serpentico. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Sammy Guevara went over with the GTH. Well, after the match, Sean Spears and Tully Blanchard. Well, after the match, Luther was tending to Serpentico, and Sean Spears and Tully Blanchard came out. Sean Spears attacked Sammy Guevara from behind and beat the shit out of him, and then Tully Blanchard handed Sean Spears a steel chair, and Sean Spears done the Death Valley Drop, done the C4 to Sammy Guevara on a steel chair, and Sean Spears stood there and stared Sammy Guevara down and everything, and then Sean Spears and Tully Blanchard left and went backstage, which that was cool. Match 10, it was Jade Cargill versus Katie Arquette. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Jade Cargill went over with the Jaded. And match 11, which was the main event, it was the Lucha Brothers, which are Ray Phoenix and Pena El Cerro Miedo, versus the Hybrid 2, which are Angelico and Jack Evans. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Lucha Brothers went over because Pena El Cerro Miedo pinned Jack Evans with the Fear Factor diving foot stomp combination from Pena El Cerro Miedo and Ray Phoenix. Now, there weren't any promos or segments on this episode of AEW Dark Elevation, so besides the matches, Tony Schiavone and Paul White done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And Eddie Kingston done guest commentary along with Tony Schiavone and Paul White during the matches of Brian Cage versus Joey Keys, Sammy Guevara versus Serpentico, Jade Cargill versus Katie Arquette, and the Lucha Brothers versus the Hybrid 2. Eddie Kingston done awesome on guest commentary. And the referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between 2.0 versus Gannon Jones and Duke Davis. Paul Turner refereed the match between Diamante versus Julia Hart. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Joey Janela versus Five. Mike Posey refereed the match between Hikaru Shida versus Kiera Hogan. Paul Turner refereed the match between Lance Archer versus Reggie Collins. Rick Knox refereed the match between Thunder Rosa versus Ray Lynn. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Pac versus Anthony Bowens. Rick Knox refereed the match between Brian Cage versus Joey Keys. That was Rick Knox, by the way. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Sammy Guevara versus Serpentico. Paul Turner refereed the match between Jade Cargill versus Katie Arquette. And Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between the Lucha Brothers versus the Hybrid 2. Wait a minute. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between the Lucha Brothers versus the Hybrid 2. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark Elevation from tonight, which is August 16th, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road.